Hi everyone, it's Evelyn. I have two union reads for you and a twin flame read. The first two are really quick ones. So this is the second union read, and I have another one first from yesterday and a twin flame read from yesterday too, which are both pretty quick. Okay, so just to give you an idea of the setup here for the union read, we have 4D, 5D, 6D today. So the 4D is this row, 5D and the 6D. The left is the divine feminine, the masculine is the right, and then the center is the bridge between. The feminine coming in, the outgoing divine masculine over here, the underlying energies, which I put up here, and then the closing card over here. And I put out my dad's flame. For those of you who didn't watch yesterday, this is an award that my dad got that I didn't even know was down in the basement in a box, and let alone it was in a black box. So here is the flame in the black box. And another message about the box came up today in this read in front of you. So hopefully you can stay tuned for the whole thing. And let's go ahead and take a deep breath first. Sending lots of love and blessings out to you guys. I hope you're having an amazing day. It's a beautiful sunny day here. The work that I was having done on my house is finally done. I still need something else done, but it's going to be a couple weeks before they come back. So I get to have some quiet time again. Not that it was bad. It's just, the space was always with other energies in it. So I haven't been sleeping very well this week, so it'll be good for me to get a little bit of rest. So I'm going to start here with the first union read, and here's the pictures. This is the first union read from yesterday. Okay. This is the twin flame read that I did. And again, both of the union reads are 4D, 5D, 6D. And then here's their full read in front of you. I also want to show you cards at the top. I just make sure you get that. So yesterday I told you about the square root of 144,000 is 379 point whatever. Well, this was this morning on my iPad top. Look at the number. I don't know if it wants to, I don't know if it'll focus that close up. Let's see. But I don't know if you can see, it's 27,379, and 27 is the Ace of Wands, the big flame I have right in front of you. And it was at, what does it say? It was March 27th, and it was 27,379, and the time there was 11:02, which is written that way, 11/02, which is justice, truth, and balance. So I just wanted to show you that too. It's funny. And then this is the read in front of you. Okay, the union read for today. Okay, and I love this last read as well. So I'm going to get right into it. All right, the first union read was done yesterday at 7:17 p.m. So last night. These are all very current energies, okay? 7:17, this union read for the 4D, 5D, 6D, with the Six of Swords was the underlying energy. The central card, where you now see the Divine Justice card here, that's the central card. So the central card was the Luna or the Moon, and then the final card was Karma, which is the Judgment card. And this is the SIRIAN Starseed deck. So the energy was regarding peace at the full moon, and tomorrow's the full moon, so we're in the full moon energies now because we're still waxing toward the full moon. And the three cards, the underlying energy of the Six of Swords is a very watery card, as well as the full moon card, which is showing the oceans calming down. And then the Karma card, the Judgment card, is also full of water, or actually plasma. So very much peace at the full moon with all watery cards, and opening the crown from the water to the plasma as we get into the higher dimensions. The incoming Divine Feminine is the Lovers, Guidance, and the King of Wands, which is the Shaman in this deck. The Affectionate or Lovers Guidance with the King of Wands Shaman, that 70s guy. Gemini, Taurus, and fire energies here, very much on the feminine side. Divine Lovers with Taurus, fire guy, or Leo or Sagittarius or ego or child coming up here. Peace and love and synchronicities, and the King of Wands, shaman. And in the 4D, which is the bottom row, was the solar deity or the sun, the Nine of Pentacles, and justice. So the divine feminine sunshine with full exposure, and that can be vacations and kids and pets and Leo energy as well, but it's very Sagittarius with the centaur on it. So the centaur comes up here, the sunflower, and seeds, everyone planting seeds right now, and the Saggy butterfly that stings like a bee. The divine masculine justice, feeling, not seeing, bridging by sovereignty or home and garden, and lots of crystals and wisdom and purity. Build a garden of prayer and they will come. Feel, don't look. He's already on your side. The 5D here is Starseed, Luna, and the Page of Swords. The divine feminine with a big bomb dropped. The download to the crown, or perhaps an upgrade to your abilities, with lush landscape and sunshine to grow fern, and that's the second time fern came up as a really healthy oxygen plant, and perhaps working on a garden. The divine masculine with a message, and sparser landscape on top, climbing a mountain in the snow, bridging with the full moon to settle, or perhaps Seattle coming up, with the tides and decide what to work on next. Jungle land versus cool evergreen was coming up. So the contrast between those two energies, very hot and very cool. The 6D is the higher self, the Seven of Pentacles, which for me in this deck is the divine feminine's heart in the E tower, and then the Wheel of Fortune, the great wheel. The divine feminine's higher self, which is the masculine, in plasma ether under the full moon, and the northern lights, the magenta light actually, and the divine masculine destined to Adam, or at home, with 3-ring circus and coming full circle, holding on to their tail, keeping their mouth shut, so perhaps learning to be more silent or going within. Bridging in the divine feminine's heart in the E tower, which was interesting because yesterday the feminine was in the divine masculine's heart. And this always plays this way with this read. It goes back and forth. Like one day the one energy will be on the divine feminine side, the next day it may be on the divine masculine side, but in a different dimension or the same. But it's like plays this game of back and forth. So bridging in the divine feminine's heart in the E tower, the divine masculine with crystal work outside, the divine feminine sunshine in a fresh new start with the higher self, with fire, Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries, very significant on her side. The divine masculine planting seeds in her head from the 6D to the 5D on her side, and then for the 4D project between the two of them. It's very interesting. So it's like one or both of them sending a message together from the 6D to the divine feminine side in the 5D, because she's already focused in that energy, and then trickling down to the center energy on the bridge for both of them to work on in the 4D. It's very interesting how it plays out. So the divine masculine here is justice or divorce, blind justice and a message of light, destined to the 6D high vibration, or getting there, getting to the 6D, perhaps with a message of destiny and high vibration. And again at Om, the bridge here is the sovereignty at the full moon in the divine feminine's heart in the E tower, the safe haven, the 4D divine feminine in the yard, and the 4D divine feminine in the yard with T. Is that what I wrote? And then the 6D divine masculine is in her yard planning it out after the full moon. So the 4D is before the full moon, the 6D was coming up as after the full moon. And then the bridge being the sovereignty at the full moon in the divine feminine's heart in the E tower, the safe haven. The divine feminine signs was Gemini, Taurus, Leo, Aries, and Pisces, and a lot of fire. So there's Sagittarius there too. It would normally be the Leo card, the Sun card is very Sagittarius. On the divine masculine side is Libra, and Aquarius. Also on the divine feminine side is the King of Wands, shaman, and the sovereign. sovereigns between both of them. And then on the masculine side is the Page of Swords and the sovereign energy. The outgoing divine masculine is the Seven of Swords, the Three of Swords, and the Eight of Cups, passing downloads backed up as lightning strikes to clear the field, to walk away and within, to end karma once and for all, getting stuff done before it rains as well, or storms. The number that came up for this read was 40, the Page of Cups, that innocent love, or a message of love, puppy love as well. And the horizontal lines or pillars came up as 13 of Death and 27 of the Ace of Wands again, which is transformation of new passions. And then the vertical pillars came up as 6, 16, 7, and 3, 8, which notice 7, 3, 8 is one digit away from 7, 3, 9, which 38 and 39 is the Queen of Cups and the Knight of Cups, which actually happens to be mine and my twin soul numbers. We have the Lovers and the Tower and the Chariot and the Queen of Cups, and then going into the Page of Cups, which can be a child or can be a message of love. The Lover suddenly drives perhaps to the Queen of Cups with a message of love, or the Queen of Cups and the Page of Cups, or just puppy love in general. And it can involve your children as well. 722 came up right after that with the Chariot and the Fool with the 22, with an open heart, taking a leap of faith, and perhaps getting freed from an obligation here as well. So I watched a billion color story. Which was a very nice movie. It was based in India, so if you want to check that out. But those are the energies coming up here. And again, the name Aziz came up twice in the past couple days. And then Sophia came up as well again. For the twin flame read, this was done at 9:36 to 37. So the 936 of the 369 energies, and then the 37 of the unconditional love. We had as the major arcana in that read, transition and the hanging man. Before the read, reflection or the hermit and the starseed or the fool came up. Transition's the death card. And then we had 2 swords, 3 cups, 3 pentacles, and 1 wand. So mostly weighted towards the cups and pentacles, which is heart and emotion-based things, and the pentacles of money, but also anything to do with day-to-day living, of money, effort, time spent, that kind of energy. And then we had the Page of Cups, the King of Swords, the Queen of Cups. So here the Queen and Page of Cups come up again together, and the King of Pentacles. And the Queen of Pentacles came up after the read. So we have the King and Queen of Pentacles, as well as the Queen and Page of Cups, along with the King of Swords in between the Queen and the Page. Number-wise, we had double 2s and double 5s, which is the Fool and the Ace of Swords, the Truth. But most significant here was triple 10s, a very high vibration, which can represent the 60, right? So maybe the high vibration is saying pushing us up to 4, the double 10s 5, and the triple 10s being the 6D. So spirituality was the message on the code line here, all about the numbers either 10, 20, or just the number 20. So 20 and 10, 20 were both coming up around spirituality, expanding and contracting, the false energy perhaps, and the Sophia destined as the student of the hanging man, the moral man in the high vibration, and also the ox coming up, right? The one who works very hard, but also oxes, kisses, and hugs, the one of a spiritual nature. And then FIFO came up, which means first in, first out, or flying in or flying out, but it's also like the fee-fi-fo energy. I smell the blood of an Englishman, or perhaps an enemy, right? And phi is expansion and contraction as well, and then the foe being something false or an enemy. The Sophia and also sulfur coming up here with the plasma and the ethers, and the high vibe student seeing the high vibration, the wise one, and that perspective to go more to the spiritual side was the energy there. Again, with the triple 10s, a very high vibration. We have the 3 of Swords beginning this twin flame read reversed, and beneath it was the reflection or the hermit upright, the 5 of Pentacles upright, the 4 of Cups reversed, the Starseed upright, and the 7 of Swords reversed, upright. So the hermit reflects out in the cold, in exile, coming off the small island, swimming to shore for a fresh start, passing downloads to heal and forgive. Atlas burden by the high priestess, secret path, her secret garden. Over loss and ending the conflict, working hard to resist the high priestess or secret on the twin flame path, rushing in to save the sick, the drained, the overexposed, and the past. Leo reversed, ego reversed, kids and pets, looking back at insecurities and freeing themselves. No more landmines to navigate, no more DNA lost, the man walking with loyal pal taken from them or saved their life. Looking back at manipulations, the fool with the bag and flower in hand, with their nose in the air, and loyal friend who will follow them wherever they go. And there's a message about that because in the movie that I just told you about, I don't really want to tell you that because it'll ruin the movie for you, but there's definitely that energy about, having the other person's back, whether you like it or not, and what that means. So you'll have to watch the movie to find out that message. It was a very strong message, by the way. So the Page of Swords reversed in negative self-talk, with a negative past returning, risking it all to implement a plan, tiptoeing through the tulips while the heat is on, using the past to invest in something new, or transmute it, transform the energies, and rise above. So it's like the transmute, transform, and transcend energy, my triple T's. You deserve love, and beneath that was express your why can't I even think of that? I say these cards all the time. Express your love. So I just had to tell you this because when I started doing this read, all of my pens started running out. Like I bought pens through the mail because I like a certain pen, but sometimes I don't know how long they've been sitting on the shelf, so they don't all write. And if you buy a bunch of pens, you expect them to write. So I found a way, if you heat the pens up in some water on the stove, obviously not to a boil because then you might melt the pen, but if you heat them up, it brings some of the ink down. So I was trying to do that to get more of the ink to come down to use them, but no matter how many pens I tried, they were still running out. So that's why I have some trouble reading some of my writing because I was having trouble getting the pens to work. But that energy, I'm bringing it up because it's there. The Seven of Pentacles reversed. No more daydreaming or sleeping around or lazying around. With new love, the cherry on top. The Knight of Cups offering love and the union. Getting over loss, regret, in the past. The Divine Feminine's heart and the Knight of Cups in the circle of trust of two flames. Getting over the past. Home on the swings and pond by the weeds, the enchanted forest, done waiting for a message that may never happen. Financial discipline comes up, and beneath that, communication. Negative self-talk of the King of Wands reversed, and the Sovereign dropping the act, or the patterns, or the facade, and the Emperor up before dawn without option. The crab with lobster claws, trying to be more than they actually are, or their perception of what more is. The crab with lobster claws, hanging out with wolves, skirting the golden rule, being pure of heart, and blue and gold cord. The Emperor unable to implement the plan, or deceiving self about choices, with the King of Wands reversed, with Cancer, or with bad news coming in. Coming together at work, the Page of Swords reversed and the King of Wands reversed, and the Sovereign and the Emperor to heal and forgive, to take the dog for a walk and implement a plan to get over it already and deal with financial discipline here at 11 o'clock, which is 11 of truth and justice and the double zeros of a lot of source energy backing that up. So at 11:03 then, bringing the Empress and abundance in, going forward after the read, is standing up to negative self-talk and to bad news, standing up to lying and spying and poor judgment, or kids with mouths, who talk back to you. Poor judgment and injustice of the twin flames and the devil, or codependencies and addictions, and being emotionally fulfilled by the energy of the temptation of the twin flame, being emotionally fulfilling. That can also just be Capricorn energy. but without affection or breaking up in a twist of fate. In the recent past is the Page of Cups, offering the truth for self-satisfaction. The Queen of Pentacles with bliss, and the Queen of Wands reversed, or the worst over with the Queen of Wands reversed, Scorpio, or after death. Starting over, the Queen of Cups is reversed, home, perhaps as the High Priestess or with the High Priestess, or Pisces, or perhaps Virgo, or a secret and a fallen angel, or impatience or losing patience. Scorpio reversed, Pisces upright, and Sagittarius reversed. The foundation is the Ten of Cups. Emotional fulfillment, receiving the Ace of Wands, that new flame, that new passion, from the Ten of Cups to the Ten of Cups. It's like the Fool, free to leap away from new information, but it's like a passion from the Ten of Cups family towards itself, and a Fool, free to leap away from new information or clarity on how to have a happy family or an emotionally fulfilled life. The central energy is transition reversed, standing up to others, to offer a new life, to inspire self, to let go, and perhaps do some repairs on the home. The never-ending story of hanging out for new perspectives, fending off others to offer a new life, to the Page of Wands, inspired to repair or come back into union. The challenge being the hanging man after death, or in a near-death experience, or perhaps in the never-ending story, or just dead tired, of the Emperor inspired, or after death of the Emperor and the Page of Wands. And that can represent the Emperor also in his own inner child, okay? In a twist of fate, the Queen of Cups is reversed, not aligned with what she wants, connecting in 5D, resting on break, post-war, dealing with PTSD. An offer of love from the Page of Cups, magnified by the King of Swords, offering a message of love to the group, or in coming together with the Emperor, fending off unwanted advances from multiple women perhaps, inspired to offer new life to the Chariot or Ascension, with Empress dropping the act, the Page of Pentacles reversed, in need of help, or perhaps they missed an opportunity, with the Hierophant reversed, or a divorce, a break, a chance to heal and forgive. And now is the Two of Pentacles reversed, crowning, no longer trying to choose, just letting go and letting it be. I was just getting live and let live. So Wounded Warrior comes up here with the King of Pentacles reversed, suffering in silence, or dealing with a sister, or just stressed out at night over the Holy Grail in a losing battle with no options, or chose their path but can't implement it right now, with the Ten of Pentacles reversed, dysfunctional family, business, or community, impatient, losing patience, or fallen angel who's healing. At 1152, which is Justice and the Queen of Swords, the world, or the Divine Feminine in the 5D, silenced by injustice of putting it out there, perhaps divorcee, or Taurus reverse with insecurities, or manipulative, starting over out in the cold, in exile, and also that can be someone with Taurus in their chart, not necessarily sun sign Taurus. Starting over out in the cold, in exile, looking back from a distance at the Knight of Wands rushing in to save the day. Doing the avoid dance in jealous rage, the Page of Pentacles reversed, in an energetic exchange with the devil or temptation, codependency, in need of help, money, opportunity, always relying on others or never learning their lesson. The temptation waving, chickening out with the Empress reversed, afraid to be released. So soon here is the Ten of Wands burden, which is the Atlas energy. The post-war Knight of Cups offering love to make peace with the Emperor, or the one in control, the injustice, and settling out with deception, or before dawn. With the Ten of Pentacles reversed, dysfunctional family or business or community with loss, coming together at work to create. The twin flames seeing themselves as the King of Swords upright on the journey to the Knight of Swords reversed, holding their tongue about issues at work, with the King of Wands without sunshine or without their sunshine, and the Queen of Swords reversed, silent, or he's drained by her bitching and or verbal abuse here, or perhaps the silent treatment, or her negative talk or negative self-talk. So the world comes up here, Pisces, and the sealed Divine Feminine, dropping the act to just be sovereign and enjoy home and the trappings just by themselves at 1209, which is the Hanging Man and the Hermit. And 12, of course, can be wisdom as well, and so can the 9 of the Hermit. So playfulness comes up here as well as romantic feelings, and I was getting Rumpelstiltskin. That was weird and very random. And also worth waiting for coming up here. Rumpelstiltskin, Rumpelstiltskin. I can't even think of what Rumpelstiltskin was about right now. So worth waiting for comes up. And then 1209, which is the Hangman and the Hermit again. Around the twins, or how they're seen, is the Queen of Cups reversed. The suffering in silence, or perhaps dealing with a sister, in a bold move to not work, to stay stuck in a breakup without affection, to walk away from stardom and or healing, or shining your light. Or Aquarius, or just dreams coming true, walking away from that with the Queen of Cups reversed, Cancer blocked, and the lover walking away from a chance of a lifetime. The block being the 10 of Pentacles reversed, and the King of Cups upright, dumping emotional attachments and or multiple loads after deception, or up before dawn to dump multiple loads, or choose the one. Spirituality comes out, but even more so, time out for a break. Reunion with the devil, castrated and marking their territory. The King of Pentacles reversed, deliberating too long and lost an opportunity potentially, or the Page of Pentacles reversed did, or they're in need of help to divorce or break from a religion, establishment, and heal and forgive. The King of Pentacles reversed, with a sudden event or a sudden epiphany of not heeding the call, with the Hermit shedding light on it. The twin flames avoiding the energetic exchange with the devil, temptation, codependencies, addictions, or Capricorn upright, and Taurus and Leo both reverse, which is that bull and lion energy of stubbornness and ego, released from actual prison or their mental prison. No more hiding from the Queen of Pentacles, who's offering a new life and getting over the loss of the Hanging Man to see a new perspective. The 3 of Swords reversed, of healing again and forgiving. And the 10 of Cups, family or emotional fulfillment. The King of Swords upright and the Queen of Cups reversed. The King of Swords being in his integrity and being truthful, but kind of cold perhaps. And then the Queen of Cups being emotional or sad, or perhaps manipulative a bit as well. The Page of Cups is not transitioning, and the challenge being the Hanging Man, burdened by the 10 of Pentacles reversed, family, business, or community, dropping the ball with the King of Pentacles reversed, who could be someone who's greedy and all about money, or just someone who's ungrounded at least, if not has lost time, money, or effort here. Choosing a path of release with the Queen of Pentacles offer of a new life and getting over loss, guilt, and shame. Healing the Page of Cups upright, or with a message of love, and the 10 of Cups happy ending or emotional fulfillment after death, or not transitioning, taking a break from juggling, and challenged by the Hanging Man with the right knee block, which is on the masculine side an anger block. The King of Swords burdened, and the Page of Cups with the family, business, or community loss or dysfunction, and the King of Pentacles reversed, choosing to release the Queen of Pentacles upright, or perhaps pay her out. The Queen of Pentacles with a new life, money, or help, and this may be the King of Pentacles reversed, paying out to the Queen of Pentacles upright to get over it, like for pain and suffering, that kind of energy. And that could be in a divorce as well. The Queen of Pentacles dealing with the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Cups both reversed, so that could be mother and friends or family, or mother and children who are grown. And maybe these two queens at home are being a pain in the butt. Maybe keeping a secret about losing patience, or someone losing their temper with them, with the Page of Cups, the innocent child, or perhaps a pet who's got the message of the whole truth here. So very interesting. So the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Cups may have secrets on the Queen of Pentacles there, if she's the one getting paid out. Or, these could be her grown children who are mad because they have to keep a secret about losing patience, or someone losing their temper with the Page of Cups, which could be an innocent, whether it's a pet or a child, or a message of love. All right, so This is the union read now in front of you here. So this was done at 11:06, and it's 29:58 on the clock. So if someone wants to write 30 minutes is when the second union read was in the comments, you can. And 11 is Justice, 6 is the Lovers. The union is the 4D, 5D, 6D union between the Divine Feminine and the Divine Masculine. The incoming or underlying energy is the Knight of Wands, which was in the first read as well, on the feminine side. We have Justice in the middle here, which was also on the masculine side in the last read, and then the Six of Swords at the end there, which also came up before, I think. So the Knight of Wands with a slow burn, blind justice, and peace on earth. Dolphin play with a focus on friendly socializing. The light surface energy. Play ball. Or the Knight of Wands Libra goes under or dives deep, exposing the fin or finances, the arm, the flipper, the blade, the circle of trust, keeping friendly circle tight and small. The incoming Divine Feminine is the Hanging Man, the Moon, and the Eight of Cups, hanging out, bending the left knee and the left elbow, perhaps a masculine flexing their feminine muscles on the feminine side to learn something new, getting through the full moon and then walking away with everything perfectly in order or all lined up before they go. Hanging 5 and riding the wave to the shore takes talent and experience, perhaps perfectionism here as well. The 4D here, or the bottom row, is the solar deity or sun, the 9 of Cups, and the abundance card, or the Empress. The Divine Feminine taking off for the sun, the Lone Ranger horsing around, or Saggy is at the house. And that can represent a Sagittarius, but also that's my nickname for God, Saggy, Mr. Ed. The Divine Masculine with the Empress, or abundance in the shallow water with arms open wide, Sun and Gaia, the Sun and the Empress, okay, the Mother and the Father, the Sun and Gaia, bridging in service for 9, the Sun shining 6 rays into the room, and the Empress's abundance on display within a stone pillar or ancient ruins, a wine cellar or chamber. Self-satisfaction, getting their wish by coming together, the Sun at his back, or his trusty sidekick is there, bringing the light into the dark and the abundance into the depleted stores. The 5D here is the 4 of Wands, Justice, and the 3 of Swords, the Divine Feminine home and union, the bridge across the troubled waters, and with flowers or red and white roses, sunset, sailor's delight, afternoon delight, the door always open for sunshine and happiness, Leo, Sagittarius, kids and vacation, make yourself right at home. The Divine Masculine's lighthouse, or ship in the storm, the calm before the storm, where it's darkest before dawn. The flashlight or flash of light and the tributaries through the time-space continuum, and the ETs checking on us, or searchlights over water. So you may see ships, or you may see hovercrafts of some sort. The bridge by Blind Justice, Ding-a-ling-a-ling is coming up again. Dinner's ready. You know, it's like ringing the dinner bell. And I don't know about now, but when I was growing up, we didn't have all the modern conveniences we had today. And so when it was dinner time and all the kids are outside playing all day, you know, the mother would ring the bell outside or start screaming outside for the kids to come home for dinner. And that message is coming up here. Bridge by Blind Justice, ding-a-ling-a-ling, dinner's ready. Kids, it's time to come home. Come out wherever you are. Hide and seek, using feelers only. Truth and balance, scales of justice, or lending your sight, your vision, as a portal opens through the red, orange, and yellow layers, or the lower chakra system. In the 6D is the indigo, the Ace of Swords, and the 10 of Cups. The Divine Feminine receives a proposal, or a crystal, or indigo child, or innocent, indigo and magenta, in white scrub top perhaps, or mini magician, or a little imp with good intent. And the Divine Masculine 10 of Cups stacked in his favor at 1207, which is the Hanging Man and the Chariot. And by the way, today is 27 of the Ace of Wands, and the day adds up to 35, 8, which is the 9 of Wands, the Wounded Warrior. So with bowling, so here everything's stacked in his favor at 12:07. With bowling, you strike and you win, as opposed to baseball striking out. The pyramid of emotional support with only 2 to 3 directly connected at one time. 4, 3, 2, 1, jump. The flyer on top, spreading light everywhere, and sitting within Niagara Falls, the Rainbow Bridge and all. Bridging countries and natural borders, or 10 per table, or 3-tiered cake. 3 steps, or floor lined with chalices, with the Holy Grail on top. That tops the cake. Bridging with the Ace of Swords, the Truth, Excalibur, the Dolphin and Lemurian energy, ready to play ball. As the truth lies just below the surface, so if you don't purposely look, you won't find it, right? There's that hide and seek energy. If you don't look, you won't find it. Digging up dirt where water just displaces, clearing emotions, is a trickier thing here. If you take the ball under, it won't last long before it bouncing right up to the top again, or to the surface. Buoyancy. Boy, antsy. Keeping busy with ants in his pants, right? Something to do, right? While they're waiting, because they can't stand waiting. The Divine Feminine comes up here as all sunshine and roses, daytime and sunset. The 5D home is her castle with the 4D bridge attached to sunshine and exposure, open to 6D indigo proposal here. The Divine Masculine is the 4D abundance or motherlode, welcoming all to the 5D search party or the spotlight, searching for the mothership, unable to find or find the answer by just looking at the surface. The calm before the storm, the dark before the dawn, as lightning strikes and the fork ran away with the spoon. After the cow jumped the broom, or over the full moon. To the 6D emotional fulfillment and beautiful fall and lots of running water, someone to run with the fork. The water that's easy going when the fork puts down their points and won't budge. So the bridge here, the 4D wish, the genie, the self-satisfaction or big party or celebration here. The 5D justice, the truth and balance, the upside down cones held like lanterns to be able to sway and give when the wind blows. And that's so funny because something that came up after this I didn't realize was related to this sentence when I was doing it, which is why it's fun reading this back to you guys. So again, the 4D wish, the genie, the self-satisfaction or big party or celebration, with 5D justice of truth and balance, and upside down cones, right, the scales of justice, held like lanterns to be able to sway and give when the wind blows, right? They have the ability to articulate. And also licking the finger to test the wind direction, and the flow was coming up here. And the 6D dolphin ready to pounce, who can't hold their breath forever. Play ball. However, if the water's actually plasma and not water, the dolphin can stay under a bit longer. The outgoing Divine Masculine with the Page of Swords, Karma, and the Two of Swords, the sparkling wedding dress, or white silks and satins, or knights in white satin never nearing the end of the climb to evergreen and never seen, the light at the end of the tunnel, ending karma and opening the crown, the gifts, the crowning moment, a birth through the plasma into Mount Everest, the foggy jetties, or Jedi. J-E is I, and D-I is two. I am two. R2 and D2 also. Route 2 and 2 detours. Detour, detour. Deplane, deplane. The 3-hour tour and fantasy island. I land. Landing strip or strip landing or tease as flipper ducks under for another few breaths Another duck and goose, duck, duck, goose, the goose that lay the golden egg. The aqua nest, or in other words, the island, or the bathtub or the hot tub, and Pisces' golden egg. Caviar, the fish. The Christ consciousness, the unity of the collective conscious. By the way, copy this, CC, something about Mary's bloody all right at 12:39, the hanging man and the Knight of Cups, the message of love and being loved. So then going on a treasure hunt came up here, but there was a message about the symbolism here. All right, so for those of you don't know, going on a treasure hunt, I will try to give you a good visualization on this. Going on a treasure hunt. So we're going on a treasure hunt, right? So we have a rectangular treasure chest, right? Going on a treasure hunt, draw a rectangle. X marks the spot right in the middle of it. 3 lines down, lines on either side of the X and 1 down the middle. And X plus 3 lines besides that equals what? But 13 with a question mark. With a pinch and a squeeze and a tropical breeze, Bloody Marys times 3 and gotcha. So if you have the box and you draw an X in the middle, 3 lines down on either side of the X and 1 down the middle, with a question mark with the dot right in the center of the X and the question mark above the box, which then hangs the box, with a pinch and taking the sides down a bit, and then a squeeze, bending in the 2 sides of the box. Well, what comes up when you do all that? With a tropical breeze. There is your lantern right there with the tropical breeze. That's what I just drew from that description. It's literally shedding light on this. The bedtime stories brought to light. Gotcha is got cha. Cha is Chinese tea. It's you and dance and rhythm. A Korean foot, 30.3 centimeters. To come, the number 4, the emperor. Not, crying, weeping, and this number 6, which is the lovers. Who, whom, to dawn, to rise, to fear. The father and the dude, the beaver, sharp and no. The dance of the emperor lovers. To come and cha-cha. With the number 13, X111 question mark equals 13 with a question mark. An open-ended transition to the dark side. The plasma TV or television and dark shadows, the telepathy and shadow work. So on the divine feminine side here, we had Capricorn, Cancer, Leo, Sagittarius, Pisces, and Gemini or Virgo, and Libra, as well as the Knight of Wands as the court card on the feminine side. On the masculine side, we had Aquarius, Taurus, and Libra, and the Page of Swords, which I think came up the same way last week or a couple days ago. Okay, so they were the only court cards. What did I say? The Knight of Wands. Where's the Knight of Wands? That's right. Knight of Wands is the underlying energy up here. Sorry about that. I didn't realize it was fuzzy. So Knight of Wands is up there, is the underlying energy on the feminine side. And then this is the masculine side where the Page of Swords is right here. So the overall number that came up from this read was 10, 20, 36, 43, which is the 3 of Cups, the coming together, the celebration. And there's definitely an energy about marriage, because even the contractor I was dealing with today was asking me questions about a wedding. So there's definitely wedding energy coming up here. And then we had 17 of the star horizontally with the 7. And this was so weird too. I was measuring my deck to see which deck pieces I needed to replace. And the numbers came up as 17 and 7. And here these numbers came up 17 and 7 again. The 17 of the star, the 7 of the chariot, and the 19 of the sun. And then the vertical pillars came up as 8, 4, 10, 13, and 8. And then the total number being 43 of the 3 of Cups. So the dreams coming true, ascending to the sun, vacation, exposure, and fun, and kids, and pets, and all that happiness. The emperor destined to transition within the bookends, the cha-cha, or the crazy 8s. So there is your read, guys. I really liked that one. That was a lot of fun. So I actually want to draw out what I was showing you about the going on a treasure hunt, right? So you have the treasure box, right? This is your treasure. X marks the spot. 3 lines down and a question mark. With a pinch, would pinch this out. And then with a squeeze, the box bends in like this. Like that. All right? And then you get the this lantern here with the tropical breeze, right? There's your lantern right here. Oops, I'm sorry. You missed that whole thing. Okay. So anyway, I wanted you to see how that works out, because it just doesn't happen by accident. This happens all the time in these messages. It's so cool. So let's go ahead and pull some oracle cards. See what comes up for you guys. All right. So for everybody watching, the best and highest good of all is concerned. By the way, it's 45:40 on this clock now, if anybody wants to tag that. And 45:45 now, which is that 5 of Cups, of, needing to let the past behind, letting go of guilt and shame, letting go of sorrow and loss and regret, letting go of that third baton to finish the 4th leg of the race, or not, and do something else. So for everybody watching, the best and highest good of all those concerned, what do we need to know and learn for the twins? What is our takeaway from the messages today? All right, here we go. There's the patience again, or patience, which means authentic. 16 is the Tower, sudden events. Again, this is that energy of having that crowning moment and then realizing you're not happy with what you have, and the need to be more patient again. This is also feeling like your wings are clipped, right? We've had our freedoms taken away from us with the Statue of Liberty energy there. There's also some, what am I thinking? I'm getting, the Bob Marley energy there. But whenever I hear Bob Marley, I want to say the Muppets, right? Marley and Marley, is it? From the ghosts of Christmas past and present and future. And the chains that bind. So all that stuff is coming up. And this comes up for me always with Niagara Falls too, because there's an etheric altar from Atlantis over the Statue of Liberty. So we have Statue of Liberty, which is then New York, and then Niagara Falls. And again, I got that connection of the angels at the bottom of the Statue of Liberty, connecting with the Pleiadian ship coming in. And here's a ship hovering on the 3 of Swords over the waters with searchlights on. So it's all of that kind of energy coming into play here. And then we have the 51 of the King of Swords with all of his tools turned on and activated. Okay, so, and again, this could be energies of the Twin Towers event coming back with the sudden events, right? The time. And then the 51 is the King of Swords, the healer in his power and his truth, enlightened. And then we have the 53, and again, this is this father and son energy. And again, our liberties, with liberty and justice for all. The King of Swords, the Knight of Swords, messenger of truth, and the Tower, which is the epiphanies, right? That's the divine feminine epiphanies. The divine masculine with all of his tools on board. And then here is the divine message from God, the 53, the Knight of Swords, is the messenger of truth. That's the God energy, the love, the source, the creator. But also this could be a father involved bringing in those truth, or someone getting woken up in the middle of the night, getting caught, the emperor without his clothes on, the emperor's new shoes. And then we have the 3rd chakra, Archangel Chamuel here, which is the unconditional love of the 37. And the solar plexus, which is very much the Knight of Wands energy. He's got a gold circle on his chest at the solar plexus, and he's got a very slow yellow burning flame in this card. So that's very much the energy of this here, the King of Cups. I just want to see what else this is coming up. By the way, the bottom of the deck is the 39, which is the Knight of Cups, and having their throat chakra activated, right? It's also the 5th chakra, Archangel Gabriel. And there's all masculine energies here, which is different, because in this deck we usually get a lot of feminine energies. Well, she's feminine, but she's, our Lady Liberty. So the Lady Liberty is taken away, but all the masculines are gaining their powers, right? All his tools are on board. The Emperor's got new clothes. Here we got the Knight of Wands, toning down his passions. Now it's under control with the yellow instead of red hot, with the 37 and unconditional love and the King of Cups. And then we have the Knight of Cups, the younger energy of being love and having their throat chakra activated, right? To be of a higher love. And there's the trumpeter there, ready to make an announcement. And then, yeah, beautiful energies there. Let's see what the Journey of Love has to say. Yeah, we got the Knight of Cups. We got the Knight of Cups, the underlying energy, the masculine's throat chakra being activated, and all of a sudden, all their powers are here. All different, it could be all versions of the same masculine or all different masculines of all ages, right? You have a blonde, gray, brunette, and they all have some facial hair. But he's only got a mustache. Well, he's got a little bit of facial hair there too. And then she's got her dreadlocks over there. So it's showing the authenticity, the independence of each person being sovereign unto themselves and yet in their powers at the same time. So let's see what the Journey of Love has to say. This is like my genie lantern. It's 2:22 on the clock. Guidance counselor show. And then 51, it was just 51:15, which is the King of Swords and the Devil. The codependencies, the shadow. The truth and the untruth. All right, so Journey of Love. What is our takeaway from this read? What do we need to know? What do we need to know? The Swan, and again, this is very simple, keeping it simple, black and white. The Swan is the beauty, and that's interesting because the Narcissistic Hierophant card from the Tarot Sexual Magic has two swans flying away from him, right? Because nobody wants to be around that energy. The 67 is the Knight of Pentacles, the loyal, humble servant who keeps it simple. Their life is very simple and basic and finds the beauty in it. God speaks. This is the way of it. This is I'm getting Tiny Tim in the Muppet movie. And this is the way of it. Like, this is the way things are. These are the way things are. And Spirit's connecting with me. We have the Christ, and again, this is very much the loyal, humble servant. And we have 33 of the Christ vibration. God speaks through his children, right? The Jesuses and the humble servants over here, keeping it simple and keeping their connection very healthy and strong with the greens and the purples and the blues and the whites, okay? Keeping it simple to keep your channels open so God can speak to you and through you. And then we have the bride offers herself, and I told you the weddings were coming up. The 43 of coming together, of celebration, and the bride offering herself. There's a lot of turbulent energies there. So it's saying if you're going to a wedding, whether it's yours or somebody else's, keep your channels clear through to God so God can speak through you to all the people that you come in contact with. All right, and then we end up with another kind of black and white card. I want to look at this card because this is very different energy, right? There's a lot of turbulence in there inside the vortex. As this comes, right, this is simple when you're on your own, being the loyal, humble servant, offering your help. And then we have God speaking through you and keeping your connection clear. And then all of a sudden, the bride offers herself and there's all this turbulence around her, right? It's like the bride getting ready for the wedding. There's chaos everywhere. Everything's being thrown and blah, blah, blah. I don't know where anything is. And what do I do? She's got her arms out like that, just like the old guy did in the card that just came out. The Magician in the Mirror, she's looking just like him, only she's got her back turned. They're literally reflecting each other. I have to pull that out now for you. Where was it? Here, look. They're literally reflecting each other. He's like woken up in the middle of the night saying, what? What did I do? Why all the chaos? And she's got her back turned in the vortex. What? Where is everything? I can't find anything. It's literally reflecting the chaos for both of them, but from different sides of the same coin. You see that? And then we have the hidden beauty of the 45, the 5 of Cups. right? The sorrow within, the loss, the regret, the guilt, the shame, the needing to let go of the past, the hidden beauty, the beauty within sorrow. And I remember that too when I was young, I think it was when my grandfather died. I think I was probably in high school. And I remembered my sister crying, and I just looking at her when she was crying, and she was so beautiful. It's just, again, always seeing the beauty in everything, the black and white, and everything in between, your God's connection, and then the chaos that you may experience. Like, what happened? Everything was so perfect and cleaned up, and all of a sudden now all hell has broken loose. To find the hidden beauty in all of it, right? The simple, the smooth, and the chaos. Finding the hidden beauty even in the sorrow. Okay, and then the bottom of the deck here is Sensual Awakening, the 64, which is the 10 of Swords. It's the end of the pain. The worst is over, where the bliss then sets in because the swords fall out of your back. When the pain stops, that is the bliss. That's the most beautiful pain of all, feeling from going from extreme pain to no pain at all, which is also death, right? Transition to another dimension, the sensual awakening, feeling your senses, really tuning into your sensuality and your feelings as opposed to knowing from seeing and knowing by feeling. And again, there's a lot of energy of music in here. And the cha-cha, right? I'm getting do-si-do, like changing partners. I'm getting that from that. I wouldn't normally get that. You know, going back and forth and sharing with everybody. And being in bliss. Really nice messages. I have to read to you before I forget doing that. So we have 67. 67. Is the Swan. Gliding with grace. That's my mom coming in again. Her middle name's Grace, and she never liked the name Grace because her aunt's name was Grace. We loved Grace. My mom had an issue with Grace, and Grace had red hair. My mother loved red hair. It was really funny. She's a total contradiction. But gliding with grace, nothing is withheld from this beautiful soul. It can discern what is genuine, authentic, loving, and what is from the ego parading. Even though the most impressive words or gestures, the soul can sense the withholding within of a core of fearful separation from the divine. With grace, it allows all to be and moves amongst this world with inspiring light and grace. The Paramahamsa, the great swan, the soul that moves the souls of others, is reaching to you now. The guru, the teacher, the light, the love that is all. You are blessed by sacred divine relationship with the essence of love itself, that adores you and wants only for you to be free. This oracle reaches to you now, indicating that you are held within the grace of a great soul, a teacher of the heart, of the spirit, and there is endless light bestowed upon you for protection. Your path ahead is assured. Soon you'll be shifting from hope to a sense of inevitability in your attainment of the spiritual goals closest to your heart. Be with your practice of love through meditation, yoga, kindness, nature, dance, and singing, whatever speaks to your heart, and know you are one with the divine, and it's only a matter of time before you realize it. And the poem simply states, to love from afar, all we share are dreams of what will unfold. I am going to read God Speaks to You as well. 33. God speaks. The divine is speaking to you directly. Underneath the silence, there is the endless music of love, pulsating throughout the universe. Within that sacred sound, there is guidance. It may or may not have words. It might be a feeling in your heart that you can only access when you're still, relaxed, dancing in a yoga practice, or even half asleep. It assures you that behind any struggle or challenge, there is only ever the divine seeking you out, calling you to surrender some fear or doubt or other, so you can move closer. Trust in the sound of love beyond anything else, for in truth, no matter what may appear to be, there is nothing else. This oracle brings you guidance. You're being loved into becoming. Be open to being shown the divine genius in all that is happening. If you feel you're being nudged, know you're being nudged by the divine. If you feel you're being held back, know you're being held back by the divine. It's all happening perfectly for you, and all will unfold in divine timing. The divine is speaking to you. When you're captivated by the beauty of nature, or an illogical sense that everything is okay, listen. That's the divine talking to you, reassuring you that all is unfolding according to spiritual law, in perfect cooperation with your own destiny. And the poem reads, when the first sound was born, the air was filled with fantasy. And notice Fantasy Island came up in the read. Like the flower's sweet perfume, alive in the moment. There was nothing else, only the energy coursing through my body and the tears on my cheeks. I was carried away on the strings, each note striking a chord within, and answering the emotions of my soul. How priceless the surprise, how powerful the memory, to be with the violin when it sings. And that was an ode to my dad. So my mom came up in the beginning with Grace, and here's my dad in the closing ceremonies. My dad played the violin. Okay. And again, I wanted to tell you, my parents always come into play because my parents were both Geminis. Gemini's the twin energy. They were born 7 days and 7 years apart. And you see that tray that's underneath right here that I hold my flowers on? That is a solid marble block, with a design on top. And what I never saw underneath that was a message from my father to my mother. My father was not, a romantic guy. He tended to be very shy and to himself. He didn't express his emotions very easily. But a very loving man, But they're Geminis. They definitely had tempers at times. But, we never saw my father's romantic side. He would kiss my mother, hello and goodbye, and that kind of stuff. But on the bottom of this tray was a gift from my father to my mother. And I forget what it said exactly, but it literally has the word union in it. Like, may our union last forever. And I can't even imagine my father with that word coming out of his mouth. All right. So here's my father's award for being a philanthropist. All right, we have the flame and the union under that piece right there. So that's why I kind of always use my parents as coming in for messages, besides the fact that I feel them coming in. But I just wanted to share that with you. And it's 10221. It was 102, the magician, the high priestess, and the 21 of the world, which is completion and coming full circle, and 233 on the clock, which is the Christ vibration, and the high priestess, the secret, the keeping to yourself quiet, that you don't need too many words to express your feelings. Sometimes one word is all it takes, or no words, by just giving somebody a hug or a kiss. And that's showing affection every day, a hug and a kiss, just being kind to each other. Okay, guys, make sure you drink your water, get your rest, ignore me if you want to, and get your joy in your nature. Have an amazing day and rise and be loved. Bye, guys.